Say hi.
Hey.
Say welcome to Mommy's channel. Hey guys, welcome to another video. As you can see, I have a little helper here. And today I am going to be creating 4 looks using the Ice Cream Dream eyeshadow palette by Glamlite. Can I show everybody the inside? What's your favorite part, Bree? What do you like?
Yellow.
You like yellow? You like the yellow sprinkles? In case you've never seen the palette, this is what it looks like here. And although I am a neutral lover, I've been wanting to change things up a little bit, play with a little bit more color, and step outside my comfort zone. So, if any of you have toddlers at home, it's very difficult to film a video with a toddler on your lap. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump into the 4 looks. If you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Kelly. I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking. I love makeup. I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and stay a while. Be part of the K-Bella fam. But let's go ahead and jump into these 4 looks. Okay, so I'm super excited to dive into this palette. It's my first time using it. And although I purchased this because I was looking for a pastel palette, we're gonna do something a little bit more on the neutral end today, I believe. So first I want to prep, prime, and set my eyes just because that's typically how I do my eyeshadow routine. So I am going to use the Vieve Eye Wand in Vanilla, and then because this is in my project pan, I do like to set my eyeshadow primer, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Tempera and I'm just gonna put that in like the crease and up to the outer part of my eye. I'm gonna do that with each of these looks with this palette, so I just thought I would say it one time here, and now we can jump into the look. Okay, so we're gonna do something that's gonna match this yellow shirt, be nice and light and airy. So I am gonna go in with this yellow shade right here in Mango. And I think I kind of really wanna use Salted Caramel, but I think I'm gonna use like this row right here and possibly, where is it? Salted Caramel right here for the lid. So let's go in with Mango on my Fluffy 201 by BK Beauty. And I'm just going to put this lightly in the crease as like my transition shade. I don't need it to be super pigmented or super dark. We just want like a hint of the yellow, like peeking out. Okay, so then we're gonna go into this shade right here in Orange Cream, and I still have a fluffy brush. This is my Sigma Tapered Blending E35, but it's a little bit more pointed. It's not quite as fluffy, and I still want this all over the crease, but I don't want to cover up all of the yellow. So I'm gonna build it up and just get a nice like wash of color here. And then I probably will go in with that original brush and just add a little bit more yellow right on the outer edges to blend it so that it's a little bit lighter, like a gradient effect. Okay, so then we're gonna go in with Peanut Butter right here, and I'm gonna put that in the outer part of my eye. And I really wanted to use Salted Caramel, but I kind of feel like Strawberry Cheesecake may be better for the lid shade here. So I'm gonna go in with my BK 207, take a bit of peanut butter, and just press it into the outer part of my eye and build it up until I get the depth that I like. Okay, so then this is what we have here. I am just going to get a touch more of this shade right here, this like salmon color in Strawberry Cheesecake, and just kind of use it to buff everything out. Now, granted, I did purchase this because I wanted a pastel shade, and let me tell you, pastel shades are what I got. Everything is very soft, which is nice, but I'm just not getting much depth even with that peanut butter look. Now that's okay, this can be a nice soft look today, but I just wanted to point that out because it looks like you have some deeper shades in here, but everything's just, it's very light and airy. Okay, so I think I will go into the Strawberry Cheesecake shade, and I'm going to go with my Royal Inlay Nickel Medium Eye Shader Brush. I'm going to spritz it with some Fix Plus, and put that right on the lid. Then we'll get into some lower lash line work. Now I do have my face already done. I feel like, I'm rubbing into the brush, but I feel like it's not picking up. Let's see. I'm rubbing a lot, not seeing much. This brush normally gives me a ton of pigmentation. Let me just try and take my finger because I'm not really getting much pigment here. It almost feels like this shade is not picking up very well. It almost feels like this is a bit of a creamy eyeshadow. I don't like applying things with my finger, but it really is not picking up on the brush, and I don't normally have that issue. Okay, let me try the other eye. Okay, so I think we got some pigment on there. It's a pretty shade. It was pretty difficult to work with, but we got it on there. Then I think what I'm going to do is go back in with this peanut butter shade and my pencil E30. And I'm just going to run this along the lower lash line. For my inner corner, I'm going to dip back into that Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to use the Vermeer shade on the inner corner just to get a nice pop. There is that French Vanilla shade. Actually, maybe I'll do French Vanilla. Since this is my first time using the palette, I'll do French Vanilla right there in my finger, and I'll put that on the inner corner. Okay, so here is the first look right here, and on my lips I am using my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner, which is in my project pan, and I have that topped with this Propa Beauty lipstick in the shade Finesse. I do have a code with a link down below if you want to shop Propa Beauty. But this is the first look. First impression, I have to say it was pretty difficult trying to make that strawberry cheesecake shade work. I don't know if you can see the indent there from my finger. I couldn't really pick it up on the brush, and the matte shades were super light, which granted this is a pastel shade. That's what I was looking for. But we have this look here, very nice and light and airy. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the second look. Okay guys, we're moving on to the next look, and as you can see, I started it already for a couple reasons. The first being color is not my specialty. This is very much outside of my comfort zone, so I wanted some time to like play and figure out what I wanted to do. But also because I was watching a video by Bailey Sarian. It was episode 3 in her podcast about the Rosewood Massacre. So I'll link that down below, but I wanted to finish that. I was almost done with it. So I did one eye, and I'm ready to do the next one with you. So I did go in with a different eye primer this time, and I'm using my Vieve eye wand. I wanted to see if I felt like that did anything like pigment-wise with these shadows to make them pop more. So that is what we did first. The next thing I did, I did set it with the shade Tempera in my ABH Modern Renaissance, just the crease and brow bone. But then I did go in with this shade right here. It's called Mint Chocolate, I believe. And I just took this 203 brush, I think by Wet n Wild. It's pretty fluffy. And I just put that right here on the inner part of my eye. I do have small eyes and they're hooded, but this is a technique that I see my friend Heather Austin do often, and it gives me some room to like play with some more shadows. So I knew I kind of wanted to play with this mint chocolate shade and the purples. I just wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do with them. So this makes more room for me. Okay, then I'm going in with another fluffy brush. It's the Y19 by Morphe, and I'm going to go into the shade right next to it right here in Honey Lavender, and I'm going to focus this on the crease, but on the outer half. I will overlap a little bit, but I just want to get some more purple out here to blend together. This is not typically like my strategy for how I do eyeshadow. I normally like just layer all of the shades, but I find that when I'm using different colors like the purple and the mint green, those don't really layer well. So I felt like this strategy would work better. And these are very light shades, they're pastels, so I'm just gonna work to build them up a bit. Okay, so then I'm going in with this BK Beauty 207. It's like a domed brush. No, that's not what I'm gonna do. Just kidding. I'm gonna go in with my lid shade. So I'm taking my Royal Inlaying Nickel Medium Eye Shader brush, and I'm going to go into this shade right here in Blueberry Cheesecake. And I'm gonna spray my brush with Fix Plus. Now I had a hard time with Strawberry Cheesecake, and I find that the texture of the eyeshadows is just different. And so I did spray this with Fix Plus, and I had an easier time getting pigment onto my lid. But I have to say, I don't think this is like my favorite shimmer formula. I definitely feel like I have to like dig into it a little bit. If you've ever tried the ColourPop Super Shock shadows, that's what this reminds me of, the texture. It's a little bit bouncy. It's hard to get pigment onto my brush. I feel like my finger, I get way better pigment on my finger, but having long nails, it's just really difficult to apply shadow with my finger. But I find that that works best with these shimmers. Now we're going in with the BK Beauty 207, and we are going to jump up here to Gelato, which is just a deeper purple. And I'm just going to pack that. It's a shimmer shade, but I'm just gonna pack it right here in the outer V because I feel like it creates a little bit of definition. If I had like a deep matte purple, I would have used that, but I didn't want to go into like black cherry because that's more of like a magenta shade. I wanted to keep it in the purple family. Then I'm going in with a different brush, the BK Beauty 204, in the same Gelato shade, which I said is a shimmer. And I'm just going to press that along the lower lash line. Because it's a shimmer, it's gonna look a little bit lighter on the lower lash line. And I'm just taking it about 2/3 of the way in. I'm not taking it all the way in. Same brush, but I'm gonna go into the shade next to it, right here in Taro, and get a little bit on that same brush. This one is a shimmer as well, and just focus that right on the very outer edge. Then I'm going in with my pencil brush. It is the E30 by Sigma, and that mint chocolate shade that I used first, and putting that right here on like the first third of my eye, so kind of mimicking what we did in the crease, but on the bottom. And going in with French Vanilla and my pinky. Oops, I already did that eye. Popping it right here on the inner corner. We are gonna hop off, by we I mean me, I'm going to hop off and do some mascara and pick a lip, and I'll come back to show you the finished look. This right here is the finished look. On my lips, I am using my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner. You've seen me using it a lot. It's in my project pan. I topped that with my Jaclyn Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade Truth, and because that leaves like a crepey fine line kind of deal, I like to top it off with a gloss, so I used Samantha March Millie lip gloss in collaboration with Ofra Cosmetics. So this is our look right here. Let's go ahead and jump into another one. Okay, so for this next look, I kind of have a couple ideas in mind. I really want to use this gold, but I think I might do that in a different look. I think because I have like a salmon shirt on, that we should maybe go with some of these pinks. That is what I'm thinking. So I think I'm going to start right here with Mochi, this light pink. And I need a fluffy brush, so I'm just going to take my E40 by Sigma and get some of this smoky. And we're just gonna use this as my transition shade, meaning I'm just gonna put it like all over my crease and it'll be pretty sloppy. It doesn't need to be nice and neat. So then I'm gonna take a brush that's like a little bit more tapered. This is the Sigma E35, and I'm just gonna go in with the shade right underneath, right here in Bubblegum. And we're gonna pack that on, and I'm gonna put it like right underneath that first pink shade. Realistically, these two shades are super similar. You probably don't need them both in the palette or to use both of them. But in an effort to use more shades, we're gonna go ahead and pack these two on. Then this brush has no product on it. I'm just gonna make sure those edges are blended like up into the brow bone area. I did already set my eyes with the eyeshadow primer from Fenty Beauty, and I did use Tempera from ABH to set my crease and up into the brow bone. So these are the shades that are going on top. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the BK 207, this domed brush, and I think we're going to go up top here to Red Velvet. It's almost more of like a hot pink instead of a bubblegum pink, and we are just going to stamp this right here on the outer corner and see if that gives a little bit of depth and definition. Okay, so for the lid, I'm going to use my BK 203. I'll spray it with Fix Plus, of course, but what I don't know is, do I want to go in with Rainbow Sherbet or do I want to go in with Strawberry? I think we're going to do Rainbow Sherbet right here. It looks like pink with a little bit of like orange, like tint of orange in there, orange glitter. So I'm going to try and pick some up on my brush. That's one thing I haven't loved about these shimmers, but this one seems to have picked up very well actually. So we'll spray it and apply it. So this shimmer is definitely more pigmented. I feel some fallout on my face. This shimmer applied better than the other two that I've tried. I don't know if it's the brush, I don't know if I just used more pressure. I don't know what caused it, but definitely applied better. Now this look is very light and we're gonna keep it very light. So what I wanna do is find my pencil brush, and I'm trying to think of what color I wanna do on the lower lash line. I don't wanna stick with just the pinks. So I think what I might do is I might go in with the yellow first in Mango and then a little bit of the orange in Pumpkin. So let's take Mango on my pencil brush and just kind of buff that all over the lower lash line. And then I'll take a more like, I don't know the word, like a stamping brush, a liner brush, and we'll use Pumpkin. Okay, so I'm just taking this e.l.f. flat eyeliner brush and going into that orange pumpkin shade, tapping a bit off. We're gonna put that on the lower lash line as well and build it up a little bit to kind of mesh the yellow and orange together. Okay, so then we're gonna do what we've been doing and take that white French vanilla shade, pop that in the inner corner, and I will pick a lip, put on some mascara, and I'll be back to show you the finished look. All right, y'all, here is the finished look here. I did go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner, who's surprised, and I topped it with Juvia's Place 2020 lipstick. I almost said lip gloss, hashtag 2020 lipstick, and then the Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar lip gloss. Now, with this look here, I have to say, I have to say, the more that I play with this palette, the more I realize what a neutral lover I am. I'm having a lot of fun playing in the color, but I look at this makeup look and I'm like, this just isn't me. Like, I don't feel comfortable in it. I don't like the bright pink eyeshadow. I don't know if the lips go with it. Like, I just feel a little bit like a fish out of water. So that has been a great lesson so far. I don't know how many looks I'm going to create with this palette. This is the third look. I may do one more look and then wrap it up there. And of course, I'll share my thoughts at the end, but I know I've gotten some really nice feedback on the colorful looks that I've done on my channel recently, but with this look specifically, I'm feeling a little awkward. But why don't we go ahead? I know I'll do at least one more look, if not two. Why don't we jump into those? All right, guys, this is going to be our fourth and final look. And you may hear some noise in the background. My daughter is over here on my bed, living her best life, in here filming with us, and I'm dog sitting. I have 2 dogs, 2 other dogs are at my house, so we have 4 dogs all together. But I wanted to wrap up this video using the Glamlite palette, and you know, with a palette like this, I feel like I have to do all of these colorful looks all of the time. Like, I really want to do this blue cotton candy. You know, we did a pink look, we did like some blues and purples. I feel like maybe I should do something with the greens, but one of the reasons why I really wanted this palette was for salted caramel right here. So even though we started with a neutral look, we're gonna have 2 colorful, 2 neutral looks here because we are going to use salted caramel here. So I'm gonna start in with pumpkin. I've already primed, I've already set the primer. I'm gonna get a little bit of pumpkin, which is that orange shade, and just use that to buff into the crease. This is going to be like a very, in my mind anyway, it's going to be a very simple, like Kelly type of look. You know, I really wanted a palette that was going to help me step outside of my comfort zone, do something different. And while this palette is very comfortable and we tried a couple different techniques, to end it off, we're just gonna start with what I know, neutrals. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my Morphe Y17, which is just a more tapered crease brush, and we're gonna go in right here with Butter Pecan. Ah! I just dropped the palette. That's so silly, right, Bree? Dropped the palette, everything's okay. It just like literally leaped out of my hand. Okay, so Butter Pecan, which is also in the orange family, and it looks like it is a hint darker than the pumpkin. I don't typically go for oranges. We'll see how this goes. But you know what? I know in using this palette that I love neutrals. Neutrals are my jam. That just confirmed it for me. But now I know that I have a palette in my collection where I can kind of play around and do something different. It's always good to step outside your comfort zone every now and then. Okay, so then using the same BK207 domed brush, and we're gonna go in with a little bit of chocolate here and put that right on the outer corner to deepen it up a little bit. This is actually the first time I've used one of the deep shades and gotten a very like pigmented, deep like vampiness. It almost looks though like this chocolate has a hint of red in it. Is that just me? It really does. Is there like, there's like one of those plastic things on here. Hold on. Okay, I think there's one right here too, is there? No, maybe that's just the decal. Okay, so yes, just FYI, chocolate should be like a raspberry chocolate. You would think chocolate like brown, but this has like a hint of red to it, which that's okay, it's fine. Also, all 4 dogs are now in here with me. My husband's at work, so I left the door open and literally got Bree and all 4 dogs just hanging out while we filmed today. So I thought this was gonna be neutral, but it almost is like neutral with a twist. I'm gonna blend that out. There's no product on here. I just wanna kinda like fluff around the edges. so that there's no like harsh lines. Okay, so then because my BK203 picked up the shimmer shade, what did I use? Rainbow Sherbet really well. I'm gonna use the other side of this brush, and I'm still gonna spray it just because that's what I always do, but I wanna go into Salted Caramel right here. This was the shade, like when I watched people review this palette and they would swatch this shade, this was a shade that was calling to me. Now it looks kind of chunky and it's not picking up very well. This again looks like another one that would probably be best with your finger. Let me spray it a bit, I got dogs everywhere. Okay, so this is with a brush and sprayed. I think this is another one. It's like the same texture as Strawberry Cheesecake, where look at the difference when applying with my finger. I hate applying with my fingers, and my nails are so long right now. But it really did make a huge difference applying it with my finger. Okay, for the lower lash line, I want it to be pretty neutral. I'm looking for a brush here. I guess I'm just gonna go in with this random eye fluff brush from the brand Inspire from a very old Ipsy bag. And I'm actually gonna go in with Peanut Butter. It's just like it's really like the only neutral brown shade in here. Pumpkin had more of an orange tone, chocolate was more raspberry. And I'm just gonna put this on the lower lash line, just to kind of tie the look together. And then I'm gonna hop off, do some mascara and pick a lip, and we will wrap this baby up. Okay, so this is the finished look right here on the lips. Again, Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I also am wearing the Vieve lipstick in the shade Ninetease. I really like the shade of this lipstick, but full transparency, it does give me a little crease. Like if I'm just wearing the lipstick, it'll give me a little, you know, little crease in my lips there, so I always top it with a gloss. So I did go over it with Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar Lip Gloss, and this is the fourth and final look.
Help you?
What, baby?
Help you with your makeup, Mommy?
You want to help me with the video?
Yeah.
Okay. So, fourth and final look. Why don't we go ahead and wrap up the video? Okay, so we're going to try and wrap this up and put a pretty little bow on it. I have one dog next to me crying. Briella's playing with my Sigma Ambiance palette, so we don't know what's going to happen with that. But I did just want to give you some final thoughts on the Ice Cream Dream palette. So, first of all, this is a beautiful pastel palette. Definitely fits with the name pastel. When I was applying these shadows, everything applied lightly, it blended smoothly, it had nice pigmentation, but it was very light. They do have good pigmentation, but it's light, it's a pastel. I'm not a fan of the shimmer shades. I tried Strawberry Cheesecake, I tried Blueberry Cheesecake, I tried Rainbow Sherbet, and I tried Salted Caramel. So I only tried 4 of them because these are the only 4 shades that I've used in this eyeshadow palette so far. Those are the only 4 shimmer shades. These are the only 4 looks I've created, and I don't love the shimmers. I find that they're very hard to pick up pigment on the brush. I have to use my finger, and I'm not a fan of using my finger to apply eyeshadow, so I don't think this is going to be an everyday eyeshadow palette for me. I think it'll be like a once in a while if I want like a light pastel look. You know, I'm glad that it's in my collection. It's unlike anything I have. I just don't think that I'm going to get a ton of use out of it compared to the other neutrals in my life. But that's okay, because it has a place on my shelf. It has super cute packaging. Brielle was a huge fan of the sprinkles, and now I have a little bit more color in my life. So I would love to know your thoughts down below. If you have this eyeshadow palette, what do you think of it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you guys feel about the shimmers if you have this palette? I mean, maybe I need to try some of the others, because when I'm looking at it, like Blueberry Cheesecake applied okay. It's just these ones that have like little chunks in it. So I almost wonder if Birthday Cake, Cotton Candy, Lemon, I wonder if those would apply differently. Like that's definitely something for me to look into and think about. But if you've tried this out, let us know down below your thoughts. Thank you, baby.
That's mine.
Oh, okay.
My makeup.
Your makeup? Do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody.
Do you want to stand up here and say goodbye?
Goodbye, everybody.
Okay, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Say thumbs up.
Thumbs
Thumbs up the video. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.